What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going through the best and worst tattoo TikToks I could find. So let's jump into it. Okay, I'm sorry guys, I have to hit you with a gross one first. God. Whenever I see blistering like that, I'm like, how did that happen? Because one, I've been in tattoo shops since I was 19, 20. I've never seen a tattoo heal like that. And it blows my mind that that can even happen. I don't know if this is the case, but I see it a lot in tribal tattooing. I don't know why. I don't think that there's like a correlation between the two, except for maybe the way it's applied with like super gnarly line work. Sometimes as tattooers, we overdo it in the skin and it just beats the shit out of a tattoo and leaves this type of weird bubbling thing. What's also kind of weird to me is that like, as I pause it, I can't really see a whole lot of redness around the tattoo, which if the blistering was happening, you'd think that the skin would be so red and so inflamed. Obviously this is an infection. I'm not saying that it's not, like, don't, get crazy. It's obviously an infection. I'm just surprised that we're not seeing a ton of redness and the bubbling. Be cautious out here, guys. Maybe this one's for the tatters. If you're pulling straight lines and they gotta be big and bold, be careful. But man, that's rough. That's rough looking. On to the next. Okay, this is a tattoo by Simone Tattooing. This dude does amazing tattoos, and what I'm seeing here is him absolutely destroy one. Why'd you do it, buddy? Why'd you do it? I read in the captions, this is what the client wanted. Hey, if this is what the client wants, that's what the client gets. But man, I hope he charged double for this nonsense. Luckily, this is all done in like a gray wash. I would guess and assume it's not going to be as strong as it is here. It's just going to look like a faint line going through a tattoo. But man, what a gorgeous tattoo, and just slightly ruined. Not overly ruined, but slightly ruined. Dude, there's no one in the world that can't say that that's not one of the most beautiful tattoos you've seen in a while. Especially traditional. Like, I love when people, if a dude or a dudette can nail a girl head, I think that makes them like the best tattooers. I wish that client didn't ask for that, but I'm sure it's still gonna look great. Like I said, with the gray wash, it's probably not a big deal. It's just gonna look like a faint little fucking thing. Okay, on to the next.
See these old heads that have been around for ages, and no disrespect to them on it or in it. Like, I understand their anger with the situation. Mm-hmm. But if you've been around for 20 years and you can't compete with a 16-year-old that picked up a kit off eBay, like, you probably suck, bro. Okay,
so first off, I want to say, as someone who watches a lot of these interviews, podcasts, things like this with tattooers, good on this dude for just saying what he thinks rather than just like being so gentle and like, playing both sides of the fence. This is how he feels. This is what he's saying. I really respect that as far as tattooers go. But this guy didn't hold back any punches. So what I will disagree with is like, he's saying like, if you can't compete with a young tattooer, you probably suck. Look, I completely disagree. There are a lot of tattooers who have been tattooing a long time who just can't compete with the technology of today's world. Look, they're not making TikToks dancing around and like, look at my tattoos, and then like presenting it in that way. And that can prohibit you from being as good of a tattooer or doing as much tattoos or being as successful as a tattooer in today's age. That's just honest, straight up. Now, is that a good excuse for a tattooer who's been tattooing a long time to be like, this is why I'm so slow? No, fuck no. You're responsible for your own shit. Get after it and make as much money as you can and stop bitching about where you are in tattooing. But, both things are true. The world's changed. And most people have been tattooing for so long that they don't know anything else other than tattooing. So this whole world of social marketing bullshit is foreign to them. Now, also, this is my best advice to any young tattooers out here. Look, you're gonna age, your tattoos are gonna get worse. You should figure out a way of making money in tattooing without it being tattooing. One of the things that drives me the most crazy is all these different fucking idiots who have nothing to do with tattooing getting their fucking dirty little hands in tattooing. And I think that more tattooers should take on those roles of businessmen, like around ointment companies, around tattoo supply companies, around tattoo shop owners. Like, if you're a tattooer, start thinking about where you're gonna be in 30 years and start learning some of the tools. And if that means your tattooing will suffer because of it, so be it. You don't have to be a tattooer your whole life, but you can be in tattooing your entire life.
Just get better. There's no person that bought a tattoo machine off eBay that's affecting my workload. I'm not losing customers to these people. I don't like it. I would get rid of it if I could, so maybe that, but like it doesn't like affect me in the way that it affects some of these people. And like I don't want that to seem like I don't care about tattooing. I really care about the respect of the craft. I just think some people are really bitter about certain things.
Okay, so one, would never argue that this guy doesn't respect tattooing. Just because he's stating his opinion doesn't mean, I don't ever want this to come off like that. And a lot of tattooers are bitter. Look, the world's changing. The world's changing around you. Fucking solve it, dude. Get on your internets and play this stupid game. Do whatever you have to be busier, or transition out of tattooing and into something that's, equally valuable for you. But tattooing in general does suffer in its whole entire way from people buying tattoo machines and fucking up other people's tattoos. It's true. It is. You can buy a tattoo machine on Amazon and you can fuck some people up, and that is having a negative effect on tattooing. And it's affecting some people's incomes. Maybe it's not affecting the people at the top or in the middle, but someone, some young kid who's an apprentice trying to learn how to be a better tattoo, who's not getting to do $60 tattoos at his shop, is being affected by other scratcher tattoos in the area. That's true. So maybe you don't feel the effects of it, but other people do, and it will have a serious effect on the future of tattooing. Now, don't get me wrong. I think tattooing is gonna be great. I think the next generation of tattooers are gonna be phenomenal, but it does have a negative effect. It does affect the people around you, even if it's not affecting you. Okay, this week on things that don't look great that you think are gonna look great. Finger blasters. So, this isn't a great tattoo. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that it is, but technically it's applied okay. For a finger tattoo, you're not gonna see much better versions of them. And, they had to use a lot of white because that's the nature of this spot. Look, I don't like this tattoo. It's not a good tattoo, but it's not a good tattoo because it should have never been done. And when we look at the healed version of it, that is exactly what most finger tattoos look like, dudes. I would argue that even the healed version looks better than I was expecting, but still, just a dumb, bad idea that you shouldn't be doing. Yeah. So, be responsible out there, kids. Make sure your hands look nice. You get some nice tattoos. Don't try and pound a bunch of white into it. If you're a tatter, don't do dumb ideas on the hand. Or if you do, maybe don't post them on the internet. That's what I do. Okay, this one blew my mind. I just want to say those scars are gnarly. I don't know what tiger this kid got in a fight with, but man, it's heavy. Okay, let's see this cover up. Dude, good for this person. They pulled this dragon off. I think it looks very good. I'm not a huge fan of the tattoo, the design, whatever. But what I am impressed with is their ability to go for it. They definitely went for it. This is such a gnarly tattoo. Having to cover up huge scars like that and them doing a pretty good job with it, I'm happy for them. This is the type of tattoo that I normally scroll past. I'm not gonna talk about it being bad. I'm not gonna talk about it being great. Nothing. This one is really standing out to me because of how gnarly those scars are. So if you have scars like that, be cautious about how soon you get them tattooed over. Give it time. One, because they might be way more painful. At the same time, they might not be painful at all, but a lot of times tattooing over these types of things creates a lot of issues. You might have blowouts, you might get more easily infected. There's a lot happening here. So be careful if you got scars like that. But overall, great job. Good for this guy. Tattoo za life. I just wanted to take a moment. We just broke 60,000 subscribers. It means the world to me. I can't believe it. We're trying to get to 100,000. And the more people who subscribe to the channel, the better tattoos are out in the world. I appreciate you guys. Okay, bros and brosettes. Now, as a tattooer, if someone came in here today and asked me for this, I'm doing it. I'm fucking going for it. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna charge them a hell of a lot of money, but there is no way that this is ever gonna look good. This is one of those ideas that sounds cute when you're a client being like, I wanna get a line across my entire body, but in practice looks dumb. Yeah, just bad, kind of crazy, but good for the tattooer. I hope they fucking charge this dude a pretty penny to do this type of garbage, because yeah, it's never gonna look good. I don't fault the tattooer for doing it because hey, we all gotta eat, but the client maybe should have been talked out of it, maybe. This is New York City Tattoo. I've used him a couple times and usually, it's for the worst. So let's watch.
Thanks for pulling up, man. You got some great tattoos. Let's start with this arm if you don't mind.
Absolutely. So got a bunch of different artists on this arm. Starting out, we got Burt Crack with the Scorpion,
Legend.
Dan Santoro with the Cobra here.
Nice.
Joe Chat with the face. Kira Latanzio did all these filler pieces.
Yeah, he's the man.
Steve Boltz did these two little filler guys.
Awesome.
We got Chad Coplinger with the Jesus Jagannath split.
Yeah, I love the details around that, man. It's so cool.
Yeah, the symbols I love.
That's the Ohm, right? Is that
Yeah,
the
the
Ohm?
Ohm, yeah. Frank Williams did these three when he was in Smith Street. Joe Chad again with the Metal Eagle.
Ain't nothing to learn here. Just fucking rad tattoos. These are the type of tattoos that when I'm walking around, if someone had these, I'd be like, show me, I wanna see them. And then the names he's throwing out are the names that like, I'll be like, God damn, that's a cool collection. It's funny how like as tattooers, we get obsessed with people's names and collecting just like in any other, you collect Nikes or you collect baseball cards. We get excited about the names. And for me, watching that and hearing it like gets me excited because all of those tattooers, Dan Santoro, Burt Crack, I think he said, Chad Coplinger, Steve Boltz, all great tattoos. And this is what you're gonna get in New York if you like traditional stuff. Bitchin' sleeve. On to the next.
Apply for jobs and they look at me going out, say, what is this? Like I'm not a human being. I would love a job and prove them all wrong because all the time they keep saying to me, no one will give you a job. No one are going to give you a job. I'd love to be a solicitor, a lawyer, a solicitor in crime because I've always been...
This breaks my heart. This breaks my heart. It says that she's addicted to tattooing. I don't know. I guess you could get addicted to that. Someone does. We get addicted to the patterns our brain goes through. So like, I guess somehow she's addicted to tattooing. Whatever. Look. The decisions you make in life, a lot of them you can ignore. When the decisions you make are bad face tattoos, you can't ignore them. You have to live with them and you have to push forward with them, and they unfortunately have a massive effect on your life. And there's no way that you can tell me that they don't. Oh yeah, God. I don't think any of you guys are at risk of getting addicted to tattooing, and I don't think any of you are addicted to tattooing your own face. So like, this is really just to be like, what the fuck is going on the internet? But yeah, be cautious. It's a sad tale, dude. The classic tale of someone getting addicted to tattooing their own face and then they can't get a job because their face is tattooed. You know, that classic story. On to the next. We're gonna try to show you full like elevator music. I don't know if we'll be able to, but God, this gave me like such a stomach ache when I was watching it on Instagram, and then it was like this, well, nice music, and he's just railing this guy's fingernails and blacking them out. Oh, God, good for this guy for doing it, but man, blacking out your fingers seems like the worst thing to possibly do ever. Yeah, on to the next. Okay, usually I don't use the same people twice in a video. Sorry, honest tattooers, but I don't fucking care. We're doing it. We're using you twice.
Did you make any sort of agreement with your apprentice of like, all right, I am going to teach you to tattoo, and in return, your duties or responsibilities or what you're going to do for me over the course of how long?
Yeah, I laid it out a little bit. I didn't like make her sign a contract or anything like that. It was kind of just a verbal agreement. I charged like $300 a month, but I didn't make her do a whole lot of grunt work. I was like, we take out your own trash, and maybe we take turns mopping, sweeping the floor, like dumb.
Okay, I know someone out there is already writing something about how you could possibly charge an apprentice. Bros and prosets. Every single time I talk about apprentices, someone gets crazy and leaves me a comment about how, fucking unfair. Fuck off. Fuck off. Look, if you're a tattooer and you choose to teach someone to tattoo, there's a cost to that. Now, if you're getting free labor out of it, good. If you're getting cash out of it, good. I don't really care. And I think the more people who realize like, hey, I want to learn how to tattoo, I want something from someone else, I might have to pay for it in time or money, the better. I don't know why every single time someone leaves me a comment saying that like they're working for free. No, they're learning how to tattoo. And part of their learning and part of their apprenticeship is working at a tattoo shop. Look, no one gets paid to go to college. That's it. That's it. I'm so over this conversation. And I cannot stress how respectful this woman is talking about this scenario. Like, dude, She laid it out. This is what I want from you. This is what you're getting from me. This is a verbal agreement and we can move forward. That's such a good thing. This is exactly what you want in tattooing, and people will fight me tooth and nail, but suck it, dude. I'm not having it. I'm not.
Like that, because we're sharing the space. I wasn't trying to like get anything out of it. I know that I wanted to teach someone and I wanted to not be alone in the studio anymore. It's nice having the little bit extra income for future goals and stuff in the business.
Could we go back on the monthly charge? I never heard of anybody doing this for an apprentice. You charge her $300 a month to be the apprentice for how.
So I want to stress, I think he kind of doesn't misspeak, but he doesn't like explain fully what he's thinking. I'm gonna guarantee he's heard of people paying for apprenticeships. I think what he's saying is that he's never heard of a monthly charge. That is kind of unique and weird, but hey, whatever, that's how she did it. That's how she did it. I'm sure she's, you know.
How long?
Until she started charging for tattooing herself.
Okay.
And then we would move to kind of percentage. I wanted it to be this kind of mutual thing where like, I want this to work best for you and for me. And
look, dude, as a person who had apprentices, look, you want something, I want something. We have to come up with a deal to make both of us get what we want. I want to be able to get something from you. You want to get something from me. We make a deal, it works out perfectly. Not everyone thinks like that, but hey, what the fuck ever. That is the way the world works, boys and girls. So if you want an apprenticeship, get ready to pay either in time or money.
I hate tattoo shops. Let me explain. I knew since when I first started tattooing, my dream was to have my own tattoo studio. I knew it wouldn't be for a while, but I knew eventually that was my goal. And I didn't want just a normal tattoo shop vibe.
So obviously this guy is just saying, I hate tattoo shops to get us all into it. He's about to drop the news that he used that as a fucking tactic. That's fine.
I know all the tattoo artists out there are gonna cry about me saying something about tattoo shops. That's why I started the video the way I did. So now that it worked and you're watching the video, let me explain.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
For me, I just was never a fan of the tattoo shop vibe. Loud music, annoying people trying to get everyone's attention with their corny jokes, bright ass lights. You know what I mean. I wanted something that was unique to me. I've always liked the sneakerhead, hype beast aesthetic, and I know this might sound weird, but I wanted a tattoo studio that if you took out the tattoo bed and the 2 pictures I have hanging up, you wouldn't even really guess that I do tattoos here.
Okay, so essentially he's saying he hates like the whole tattoo shop atmosphere. Personally, don't understand it. I really like tattoo shops. I like walking in, I like looking at the flash, I like talking shit with all the clients and the tattooers. It's a great experience for me. Maybe it's not for him, that is fine. Don't really give a fuck about that part. What I do find kind of like just as a word to the wise is look, in tattooing, you might think of it as an individual sport. It is not. I don't care who you are. No one gets better in tattooing by sitting in a room by themselves creating tattoos all day by themselves. It is a community thing. You are going to get significantly better at tattooing if you have good, strong, talented tattooers around you. That is it. That is the fucking truth. And like no hard feelings on this guy for being like, I want to be alone, or even like I want my own space. But as someone who owns my own shop, I do have other tattooers, but I'm the one who's been tattooing the longest. And I would prefer having older tattooers than me who have been doing it longer. That would be amazing. But in my current situation, that's not happening. So what I do want is the younger tattooers who are younger, have been tattooing less time than me, to really be focused and really step up their game to compete with me in a friendly kind of competition to get better at tattooing, because it pushes me, I push them, it creates this beautiful little thing. So any tattooers out there who are young and dumb, get in the tattoo shop, be around tattooers who have been tattooing a lot longer than you, and learn some things, because that's gonna be the most beneficial thing for your tattooing. One of the biggest blessings I've had in my tattoo career is being surrounded by tattooers who were doing it a lot longer than me. I've been the youngest tattooer at any shop I've ever been to or worked at, except for my own. So keep that in mind. Be around older tattooers who are better than you, and you're gonna be a lot better off than like creating your own world bullshit.
This pro footballer just went out and got the exact same back tattoo as Jason Tatum. I'm not joking.
That is weird.
So I posted recently that Ismail Hackups, who is a footballer, pro footballer, plays for Monaco, got the exact same back tattoo as Jason Tatum. Tatum has that famous God's will off the top of his back with the crucifix in the middle, and he's been adding to it since his rookie year. Now, this footballer went out and got the exact same piece, and when I posted about it, the NBA Instagram was not very happy about it. You had NBA players, you had retired players, you had tattoo artists, all giving their input. Here's a bunch of comments here. including Brandon Jennings, Nate Robinson.
Yeah, no, strange, just strange. Like, dude, if you're a professional footballer, that means a soccer player, for all of you Americans, you shouldn't be copying other people's tattoos, especially one that big and that weird. It's just strange. It's just a weird thing to be like, and you know, I'm someone who's like, always like, I don't give a fuck. Copy each other's tattoos, I don't fucking care. But if you're on a professional level and you're like social person like that, that's weird, weird behavior. But you know, whatever. Maybe I'm just judging him harshly because he is famous. I'm sure he is. Footballers are hugely popular everywhere else in the world other than America. So it's just strange. Just fucking strange. On to the next. We see this technique, and every time I see it, I'm like, fuck me sideways, dude. I do not ever want a tattoo like this. This is a technique. It's beautiful. It works really well. A lot of tattooers out there use it. Some great tattooers use this technique. Obviously, it's just me personally. When I see it, I'm like, fuck, that seems like so hard. I've tried it. I suck at it. Not trying it anymore. If you ask me to do this type of tattoo, I'm gonna be like, fuck no. But bros, yeah, that looks beautiful. We're just gonna end it right there with me saying some words about some things. I'll see you in a few days. Adios. Catch you later. Bye.